hot right now. Oh my
Ooh,
goodness.
oh my
Whoa,
goodness.
whoa, coming in hot.
Oh
Coming
my
in.
gosh.
All right, you know what?
Everybody.
We're just gonna start this one off with Kip from Napoleon Dynamite. Let's see.
Start it off with Kip.
Will this pick up? Does that pick up with y'all or no?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I can hear it.
Why do you need me? Always and forever. We met in a chat room. Now love can fully bloom. Sure, the World Wide Web is great. But you make me salivate. Yes, I love technology. Not as much as you see. But I still love technology. Always and forever.
All right. Well,
Wow.
that's
Yeah, on that note.
Welcome to
Yeah, well, welcome to. I'm not supposed to. I can't tell when Wilhelm's screaming if you guys can hear me or it's like Wilhelm just like just like
can hear you loud and clear, brother.
I mean, truthfully, it is Wilhelm show.
Yeah,
Hey,
we're just
he's a fundamental
passengers.
We're just here. Welcome to another episode, people. I am
Yeah.
Trent L.
Yeah.
Whatever his last name is. Here
Trent
with-
L.
Wow.
Trent, what's your middle name?
What?
Full name. Oh my God.
Is
Is
it,
that what
you've told me
mean,
before. It's like
Now that you've asked, I don't feel like we should reveal that. Like,
Oh,
you
shoot,
know, that's gonna be a gift for
Really?
people. who
Yeah, that's
stick
for the
with
Lord.
us.
We'll record,
Yeah.
or you can
Is
say
that-
it, but beep it out. Hold on,
Is
hold on,
that-
hold on, hold on.
Oh, my full name is Trent.
Oh,
is that like asking Wheezy F baby what the F stands for?
Yes.
The F is for phenomenal.
Phenomenal. Phenomenal. But yes, we're here
Yeah.
with Trent L.
Yeah,
Blank.
Christian. Hold up, you can't. I can't say that. Can't reveal the middle.
Yeah. Go ahead and say the full one.
All right, Christian.
What?
I have 3 first names.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Oh
but
my
but
goodness.
you guys could also call me Eclectic Sage. That's my artist name.
Artiste. Yo, I'm Lucas Mc. Oh, yeah, I tried to dox myself right there, but to no avail. I'm Lucas. There's a few of them. I actually
AKA
don't.
Young James Dean.
Young James Dean.
The middle name threw me off guard. I was like, "What is that?" I was like, "Whoa, way!
Yeah.
No way!
Miguel. Yeah. I'm
Yeah. Oh, you dropped it.
I can-
Oh my
yo,
God.
gosh.
wow.
Lucas Miguel Gustin.
Oh,
my
man,
God.
gosh.
Anywhere and
Well,
everywhere.
if you made it this far, and you heard our other episodes. I mean, I feel like that's
Yes.
well earned.
Yeah, I guess I've been coined Young James Dean.
Young James Dean.
Young James
honestly,
Dean. Out here
yeah,
being the
I'm
rebel
not
he
gonna say
is.
I wish, but I do have. I don't know. I
You have an
just do
affinity.
have like a real infinity, and I for the actor, for the individual. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I've kind of like I've questioned that, what my exact source of affinity is with the lore and the character, but I don't know. I guess it would just pertain to the interest of anybody and why they're interested in something. I
Yes,
mean,
we definitely do need to do an episode on him. I'm not gonna lie. Like, just
that would be really
No,
interesting.
I was about to say we all sort of do, especially as young creators, we tend to find something that we relate to and just attach ourselves to it.
yeah, definitely.
true.
I feel like that's just media generally, especially in like United States. Like,
Mhm.
we love our pop culture. Like, we just
Yeah.
It's
we
really-
become a part of it. Like, it's a part of our, like, we like the song so much it becomes our identity. Like, we wear band shirts or whatever. So like,
yeah,
Facts.
Yeah.
yeah, it's true.
kind of territorial about that.
I think it's I don't know. I think sometimes it's a different way of explaining to people who we are without having to say it, or
Yeah.
some sort of association. It's like when people post memes, like, "Yo, this is me as fuck."
Mhm.
Yeah,
know.
like that.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
relatable.
Yeah,
I feel like we're all just searching for human connection. That's what we're here for.
Absolutely.
pretty
Shout out.
much. Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. And I guess like any real medium of like entertainment or art can kind of be that common thread that ties us all together.
Yeah.
I don't know. Personally, I think it's like a lot of like, I mean, again, audio, interviews, podcasts. That's something I naturally gravitate towards. But I think the theatrics of like film is also huge, at least for me. Yeah, and just kind of like the lore that is like attached to like actors or set happenings or what have you. But to be transparent, I totally lack on music. Like I'm not like, and I'm sitting here with two avid musicians
Yeah,
who are
I
really
mean,
encyclopedias of
Am I a
knowledge.
musician? Do I count?
Well, I guess
I did want to be a rapper.
Oh,
Hey.
you about
I
to hop on the beat.
Dizzy Righteous.
But I mean, who didn't though? Who didn't want to be? I mean, because rappers are the modern rock stars. Who didn't want to
Yeah.
be a rock star at one point?
At
Yeah.
what point did that
Definitely fun.
transition?
Definitely fun to be it. you
Absolutely.
should hop on stage with me. It's very fun.
Hey,
Honestly, it's very therapeutic.
yeah, dude,
Sure it
I
is.
can
It's
only
very
imagine.
therapeutic. But no, that's fair. I lack in some film knowledge for old ones. Like
Was
I
there
still haven't
any-
seen Rebel Without a Cause.
Hurts, hurts.
I'm working on it. I'm gonna watch it.
I think I don't know. Yeah, the lore is very very interesting to me. But to go back to the question of or to the statement, should I say, of a rapper is the new rock star.
Yeah,
Was there any in between ground between that?
I don't think
don't
so
think so,
because I
no.
mean you had Evanescence going "Wake me up inside," and then you had just like, and then that was on the radio with "You can find me in the club, falling for the dub." Like that
Okay.
was like in the same.
Who-
I mean, if
who-
you were playing Evanescence in
Yeah.
07, that's kind of wild. Like you were really
Yeah.
angsty, like you.
Who?
You also had Nickelback too. I just
Hey.
shouts out to Nickelback.
Oh man, Nickelback callback.
I didn't know that the
I don't
lead
think
singer Chad Kroeger, he was married to Avril Lavigne. Who knew?
Word.
Not me.
I don't think
looked
we're recording when we're talking about Nickelback.
Were we not?
I don't think.
I don't think we're recording for Nickelback, so that's
Anyway,
like a callback for us. But like
Oh,
the
wow.
listeners are like, why is he saying
So-
like these Nickelback
That's
things?
Wait, did you say Nickel Black?
Yeah, Nickelback. Nickelback.
Let's
It
start
got-
a band called Nickel Black.
Nickelback. Yeah,
We'll
wow.
cover Nickelback songs, but as rap songs.
That would
Yes.
be crazy.
That would
I'm
be.
sorry.
I don't know how late it is, but it'll be pretty fun.
So small.
But yeah, you may not get the shout out to Nickelback, but
Yeah.
they need a shout out anyway because they get so
Hey.
much hate.
Yeah,
You're right.
yeah.
Small tidbit on Avril Lavigne. Do you know her? I believe debut studio album, Let Go. Do you know which one, or am I?
No.
I,
See,
I don't know.
This
it
man
for
said
sure.
he's not good at
Anyways.
music, and then he just pulls out an
Yeah,
album that
he-
I have no clue, but knows this
Out of his pocket.
like
Well,
so specific.
I'm. I mean, again, I'm sure this will.
Lucas
this
is
will-
good for those random facts. Though.
Yes,
He's always
the
got something
specificity.
interesting waiting in the alley.
That is true.
Waiting in the
Anyways,
alley is this creepy image.
that's kind of where my facts like
In the alley.
they like lay stocked up there ready to attack.
It's like Batman just like in the alley, just like you got just swoop down, beating up facts. Like
That you didn't need also, like you didn't need to know that.
but you didn't know you wanted them.
Anyways, her album was actually taken down the street because I saw the cover. Also, this ties into the importance that Christian has recently allowed me to understand the importance of songwriting. If you are like, oh my God, Let Go, Avril Lavigne, how could you not know that album? I hope somebody listening is. The song Complicated on there, which I guarantee you y'all have heard.
I love that song.
Oh my God. Okay, thank you. So you know what I'm talking about.
I have no clue. It's
okay.
flying over my head.
I'll send it
Make
to you.
things so complicated.
Anyway, I heard this song at a bar, and then I was like, oh, let me look into that album. Again, the songwriting is actually pretty good, so let me look into this. Anyways, the album cover, as I was trying to state, is I was like, oh, it's in New York City for sure. Come to find out, it was taken right down the street. I was
Shout
like,
out to New
oh.
York for being such an iconic like place to like take photos.
To exist.
To exist. Just okay, I gotta give Will his space.
There we go.
But
Yeah, I mean, think how many just like countless album covers have been. I mean, boom, Bob Dylan off the top of my head. I mean, he's had numerous album covers out here.
yeah, like
I'm sure Wu-Tang. Yo, Big L.
so much art. Oh yeah.
Right on
Oh, it's
145th, I
Jay-Z.
think.
All that.
Yeah, there's so much.
Yo, there's that, I mean, iconic photo of Biggie in front of the World Trade Center, which is the original Twin Towers, that is.
I haven't seen it, but you got to put me
Really?
on. No, I've only seen because a lot of times with Biggie imagery, it's the same. To
Yeah, kind of
so it's the
recycled.
same
Yeah.
same two recycled images, like either him with a crown or like the baby version of him.
Dude, so
Mm.
actually that was one of his last, I think, if not the last photo shoot he did, was the imagery with the crown.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
Oh.
which is like really, I mean, as you stated, that's like completely iconic to his legacy. And that was one of the last photo shoots, if not the last, that he had taken. And also, fun fact, Puff was like adamantly against putting that crown on him
wow.
because he said it looked like a Burger King crown, or like it was like too cheesy.
And
But
that's
yeah,
just like
pretty interesting. Pretty interesting stuff. All right, let's see here. Okay, yeah, this one right here. Of course, in the Coogee sweater.
Oh,
Have you seen that?
I have never seen that, but that looks so tough.
Oh my gosh,
see it?
yeah.
That looks. I wish
It's
Wow.
crazy
Yeah, I've seen that
how
one. I've seen
how
that one, but I
young
didn't
he was,
think
dude.
of
He was
those guys
24.
were like my age,
Yeah,
but they look like 30-year-olds. Like
Dude, they look
they
like-
look so much older than I thought they were. When I was a little kid, I thought they were like grown adults, but then every adult looks old to you.
I think
Yeah,
that they
facts.
also do. I mean, even at this age, I feel like they still like. I feel like they're like older than I am, and I'm 30.
I mean,
Yeah.
if they were still living, they'd be older. But I mean, you know,
Yeah.
it also their sound encapsulates a certain time in your life too
Yeah.
that you know you're gonna associate with olderness
Mm.
or you know things being above you.
Yeah, but even
That's right.
I don't know. I grew up like listening to Biggie like so much. Surprisingly, like I used to listen to like Live from Bedford, Side by Sun, the Live is One, represent to BK for the copyright. Anyways, but yeah, that like his technical ability as like a writer is just so fire. Like I was watching like some Vox video. Low key, I'd use that video like to improve my writing like when I was first starting out.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like if anyone starts rapping and whatever, or like songwriting, I usually recommend that one. Like, hey,
What's
what's
the
the- what's-
content of the
it's like
video?
it's like a Vox video, and it's basically identifying when hip hop like change flows and like cadences to create something that's more complicated. Like
Mm.
a Kendrick song is so far removed from Sugar Hill Gang,
Absolutely.
and that's because of
Mm.
the evolution of knowing how to play with certain instruments and instrumentation
Mm.
and technical ability on top of a beat, and
Mm.
what it means to rap.
Right. Yeah, I mean, so
Because
who
it's
were
like wheels
some-
on the bus and schools go round. I'm over here trying to shake the ground.
I was about to say, could I make it as a rapper now if I started using that cadence? My name is Trent. And I'm
Maybe
here
for-
to say-
Maybe
People would
because
take
for
me
the
as a joke,
nostalgia.
though.
we
yeah,
could be due for a
You could,
Bringing
a
it back.
return.
yeah, bring it back. I mean, Detroit rappers don't rap on beat on purpose.
Really?
Yeah,
I
like
did-
E40, E40, or
Oh.
something. It was like it's like
I didn't know he's from Detroit.
yeah.
No, he's the West Coast.
I thought E40 was Detroit. Oh,
Is he Detroit? No,
I don't know.
he's-
East Detroit and Bay Area
Yeah, he-
sounds are pretty similar,
Yeah, I was
so it's
just-
really hard
yeah.
to say.
Yeah, he's definitely from
But I think
Yeah,
I
that
think he's from
actually-
Detroit because Big Sean had him on an album, and he was just like it's like one of those albums like Denzel Curry having Rick Ross on the album.
Origin East Bay.
East Bay. Oh, okay. So then yeah, he's from East Bay.
Hmm.
Oh, he's East 40. Oh,
So
maybe.
who were? Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I was
Who were some of the like pioneers of like sound and taking hip hop to the next level?
off the top of my head, you have Raekwon who like played with the bar line. So it'll be like somebody will be rapping and they'll say a line and then it'll be like this is this and this and this, and then what would be the cases like you go from wheels on the bus and wheels go round. I'm over here going to shake the ground.
Is that
So-
is that an actual bar?
I don't think that's an actual
Okay.
bar, but that's an actual cadence from
Okay.
a song. Like there is a song that is the wheels, like the wheels on the bus go round and round. Like there's something, yeah.
So what was the?
Oh.
evolution
It
of
was
that?
like a guy. He was like, "These are the brakes." Like the
Break
brake.
it up, break it up.
Yeah, he was like the. there's brakes on the bus and brakes on the ground or something like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and then like these are the brakes. If you look at that, I love that song though.
So
Um,
is there any like quick, because I know that hip hop was birthed in the Bronx again. It recently
Yeah,
turned
shout out
50.
to the Bronx.
Woo! Yeah, let's hear it for
My-
the Bronx.
my
man.
home
That's
borough, my home borough.
huge.
My wrestling ground. That's where I'm from.
For real. That's really really something to be from there. But like yeah, I mean, what were like the turning gears that kind of allowed that to happen?
Basically it was from DJing and stuff. So a lot of like the origins of hip hop came from people like just wanting to extend dance breaks on a song and wanting to, and then you had the MC who was like the master of ceremonies, and the master of ceremonies was like the DJ slash
Master of
hyper.
ceremonies.
Yeah.
Wow. I never knew that was what it stood
Yeah,
for.
so DJ is just the disc jockey, and then you have the master of ceremonies, and oftentimes they were the same person. And he was
Okay.
basically like a party, and they had block parties back then,
Mhm.
and they were spinning like records, and trying to extend certain dance breaks. So you had like a lot of soul songs, and they had they had breaks where they will just be drumming straight, and then there'll be like the dance section. So the DJs would want to extend the dance section, make it look nice. And then as time went on, the MC would be like rapping and trying to hype the crowd. Like, look at the crowd and we all are hype. Look at your girl, she's not my type. Like it'll be something silly like that. And then as time going on, it'll be like, hey, this is actually like a mode of expressing concerns. And then as time went on, you go on, and then it's gangster rap and all that type of stuff. And then you also have like the technicality and the subject matter being addressed, and then storytelling rap, and then to the modern era. It's 50 years of history. It's hard to brief through, but yeah,
that's true.
it's basically that's kind of where it started, and people kept on pushing it because they had a lot more to say than what was in the breaks. And then you have people
Yeah.
making specific beats for you.
Yeah.
And
I
then-
feel like that's kind of like maybe within the last like decade
Yeah.
that like the producer really started to play, I mean, like the or like really like boost the artist that much further.
Yeah, I feel like recent memory producers are more likely to get their flowers like they should,
Certainly.
because the producer, well, in some respects, I feel like a lot of times producers get overshadowed, but production is a science of its own. Like you have to balance, like the same way we look at like sounds on this like board that we're looking, like the controller for the microphones. The producer has to be able to like mix levels of sound and like carve certain sounds out and create something like wholly new. Same thing with sampling too. Sampling, we could do a whole episode on sampling. But yeah, those types of things are kind of like wild, and very complicated. Like I could technically look at it and do it, but it's not something I enjoy doing. Like I rather like you pay musicians pay engineers for a reason, and
yeah.
shout out to artists that be paying their engineers.
Shout out to people actually paying.
What?
Yeah, to like
others
paying
for the work.
Yes, pay people for the work.
What has to, what that being said, what do y'all think is the hardest industry to break into? For me, I think it would be like art, music, or fashion. I would say those would have to be, or we'll even limit it down
that's a
to
tough
like
one.
artistic
That's a tough one.
pursuits.
That's a tough one. In terms of artistic pursuits.
Artistic pursuits. Yeah.
I think
Like maybe like painting. Like that has to be
painting
like
must be crazy.
to pull or to be able to like gain traction and like own your footing in the field. I feel like that, I mean, I don't know what steps would be particularly necessary to achieve that, but
What do you think, Trent?
I was gonna say you also have to define what it means to break into, because you mean just doing it for money, or do you mean like getting big?
I would
off
say
of it
to make a living.
to make a living.
Make a living, maybe not to make it big per se, like be famous and notoriety. That's like very difficult because the bar of entry is really low. Like imagine we just we grabbed some mics and we're like, let's start a podcast, and we did. Like honestly that's how a lot of art starts. Like a musician is just like, I used to write poems in my bedroom, now I'm a rap.
Yeah.
That's like
Yeah.
that was like me. Like I used to just like listen to music, and then I would hear a song, and then like I'll hum my own melody that the artist didn't use, and I'll be like, all right, let me write something to this.
Mm.
And then that's
Yeah.
kind of how it went. And then now I like genuinely like want to do this for a while. Like just make music.
Absolutely, dude.
Make music
Absolutely.
for myself and for other people, because I feel like I have something interesting to say. And that's with like most artists, people like, I'm sure when you
Mm-hmm.
design something, you're just like, I have not something to say, but something to create
Mm-hmm.
that you
Contribute.
will enjoy, and I need to contribute to something.
Mm.
Like we said in like a couple episodes though, it's like a need.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that's interesting because when I started drawing, which is like that my first love of art, it was never. I don't think it was ever. I have something to say, and I want to get it out. It was
Yeah.
just I have something to say. Like I was
Mm.
creating the things that I saw,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and it wasn't. And a lot of it never really. Originally, it wasn't really intended. Well, I guess it was intended for like my immediate peer group. That was just the thing we were doing, but it was never. When it
Mhm.
started to develop, it was never something I was going to. I think that I intended on sharing with the world. Like I don't know if I ever saw it getting big, like
Mm.
or I ever wanted it to. Not that it's big now, but it was
Mhm.
never
Yeah.
something I intentionally was like, I'm gonna make it for people who make art and who could relate to it, can watch. Like no, I want to draw. I have this stuff inside of me,
Right.
and I physically need to get it out. And
Yeah,
that's
like
what
you need
that
you need
became.
to express.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess like the other side of that too. What say an individual was to make it big, and just to humor ourselves here, what industry do you think would have the biggest snakes around you?
Ooh, music.
Whatever I was gonna say, whatever the biggest industry is.
True,
Yeah.
Music probably.
Yeah, probably
Like,
music.
Music,
Ah,
like
dude, art could
sadly.
be like so savagely like impersonal, but like, dude, music has
It's-
to be the gnarliest. Like,
It's because like it's a commodification of art. I feel like
in this,
when you do that, when you make something that's like really like people identify themselves with it,
Mhm.
and you turn that into like a good that can be sold and bought, that
packaged and distributed.
yeah,
Mhm.
that kind of that changes like you, because it's so intimately connected to your identity
Right.
that is just all the more like hurtful when like things go wrong.
Yeah.
I feel like, because like I just see it like with like just studying like the industry and stuff, not
Mhm.
being in it. Like I'm not even touching anything crazy,
Mhm.
but I'm just starting out. But
Not yet, anyway.
Yeah,
not
not
yet.
Never know.
Yeah,
You
not
never
yet.
know.
But I've seen
Some
people
come.
like become jaded with time, and it's just like the commodification of a person. Even like when you studied like artists, like I was looking at Basquiat and everything, like Andy Warhol and like some of like their relationship, and how
Mhm.
like a small like little disagreement led to like a fracture into like a wholesome like mentor mentee type of relationship. And then some parts of it were transactional from my perspective.
Mhm.
Some of it was like I can be like into this industry via this person. Another person's like, I could capitalize on this talent from this
Mm.
person. But then looking at each other and being like, you make some great stuff. I appreciate you. I appreciate the things that you do.
Mhm.
And then how that pretentiousness from the outside and like the other things of like commodification in the industry led to such a tragedy on both ends.
Yeah,
So-
truly.
We could do a whole case study on that one. I don't want to dive too deep because that one I need to know my facts.
Have y'all
But
have y'all seen or have y'all
Facts to
visited
know the facts.
his
Yeah.
studio on Great Jones?
no, I have not.
It's
but
actually for lease.
really,
It is. It's like $27,000 a month, but
that's not
that's not bad.
for the
We could
property.
chip in there.
For the property you're
I
getting,
mean,
not that
I
bad.
think we just found our studio, folks.
Yo,
Yeah,
listeners.
You
Y'all
know,
wants
that's
to
that's
spare
a goal.
us.
Go ahead and donate.
Yeah, donate.
We don't have a link yet, but
We should
we'll get one.
start a
We'll get
Patreon.
one.
I think we'll have lost episodes on there or whatnot.
Yeah, he yeah, that was like I guess his last studio. But yeah, it's right up the street. It's on Great Jones.
Yeah, I like what he did with the factory. Somebody told me about that the other day.
What's
what do you mean?
So he had a collective. I'm still learning about it. So I may
Oh, you're
revi-
talking Andy Warhol?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
It's like the factory, and he basically just rented out a studio and was just like, "You guys create right here. Here's your space." And I was just like,
so he was
wow.
just kind of like a facilitator. of-
essentially,
He
but
just
that's
provided a space for artists to
but like providing that space for somebody is such a great thing.
Yeah.
You don't know what's gonna spawn out of that. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
like I'm still looking into it, so I'm not going to talk about it too crazy. But like
Mhm.
that's very inspiring.
Yeah.
Like regardless of like faults of a person, that's very inspiring.
Yeah. Yeah, certainly. I recently saw his Campbell soup piece at the MoMA, and
Yeah,
it's incredible. It's huge too.
yeah. It makes I like his Campbell soup one because
I do
it
too.
just
I really do too.
what it's a good part of like talking about repetition,
Yeah.
and then also feeds into his overall general sentiment over commodification. So the cool thing about artists I see a lot in like fine art is that it's funny. It's like a reflection towards the people that usually consume their art the most, which are
Mhm.
like people of higher like class standing in terms of like how much money they can have.
Mhm.
They juggle with the fact that they are commodities themselves and they know it, and they're very
Yeah.
self-aware.
That is,
And that's I feel like that tension between, let's say if I'm like a wealthy buyer and like I'm looking at something and it's just like he knows he's being like commodified, and
Mhm.
yet he still wants the attention, and it's just like I don't know, that's where the sinister nature comes in, I feel.
Mm.
yeah, it can definitely be a conflicting matter for sure. Yeah, and I guess just like I don't know, I guess I can't particularly speak from experience, but yeah, like I wonder really how that exactly affects the artist. Knowing like once you get to like this is like my income and how I eat and put food on the table and have a roof over my head, like how exactly that affects your art or
Yeah.
your craft. I guess I have yet to truly discover, but I don't know. I guess that would kind of tie into any entrepreneurial endeavor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it always sort of one of those things. It's like, how much do I charge? It forces you to put a
Value to it.
a value to
So
all of
bad
your
at that
hard work.
personally.
You gotta figure out your own value.
Do you have any
Um,
experience like putting like a charged amount?
Yes.
Please speak on it, because I
Putting
like
a what out? You said?
for putting like a price on like the art that
Oh.
you create, because like recently I've been getting into like photography, and I've been
Mhm.
trying to figure out how
Mhm.
to
That's-
price time,
That's the craziest.
and that
thing.
it is
Yeah.
so hard to me, and I definitely need to start like charging people, but at the same time it really hurts to like
it's
have
hard
to do that.
because It's
Cough it
something, and
up.
it's it's something you love. You love to
Yeah.
do it. It's like I do this for free, but essentially, you need to get paid for your work. But no, the
Yeah,
and I
pay
guess-
your artist, pay your
pay
engineer.
your artists. Shout
Pay
out to
'em.
people who pay their artists.
Shout out to people that pay the
For
engineer,
real.
pay the people in the process, and do it ethically.
Mm.
Absolutely. If you, there was a great quote. I think it was from Yazin Bey. He was saying, if you ever, maybe it wasn't Yazin Bey. I'm gonna hold off on.
Let's
the
not
quote-
attribute it. We'll
quoting,
just-
the attribution. But
Just
he
say
was-
somebody said, but
Yes,
We'll-
one of the
we'll keep-
one
we'll quote
one
you if we
great
know you.
person once said, if you want to thank someone, pay them.
Mm.
You
Yeah.
know, if you want to show your thanks, if you want to show your appreciation, pay them.
Cough
Simply
it
put,
up.
there it is. But
that's
no,
a great sage like wisdom.
yeah,
It's true. It's true.
No, the when I talk about this, the one, speaking of being jaded, the one experience I always
Yeah, because I feel like it's a natural part.
the one experience I always cite isn't with photography, but it was sort of one of the things that kind of led me to not sell my drawings. It
Mm.
was
Hmm.
I was
Mm.
dealing with a rapper, and actually during that
Ooh.
time I was dealing with multiple rappers because one of my best friends, he's into music. He does R&B and he does rap.
Yeah.
And so naturally I was always around him and always taking photos.
Yeah.
People take notice to that and they say, hey, you want to do stuff for me, I'll pay you. And through a lot of those situations, I did not get what I was owed.
Yeah.
But there
like
were
I'm
two
starting to-
instances where I drew album covers for somebody. This guy living next door. And essentially he offered to pay me something. And I kind of brushed it off at first. And then next time it was brought up and it was done, I was like, hey, yeah, I do want to get paid for this. I
Yeah.
did put a lot of work into it. And then which there was a little bit of pushback, but not too much. He paid me, and then there was another the guy who was more official, who was actually rapping on stage, and he was talking about all these things, which I didn't agree at the time. It was like his raps were filled with talking about women and money and drugs and all that.
Yeah.
He was like, I want you to draw a picture of me, and I want to be surrounded by women, and I want to be surrounded by cash, and I want to be big and muscular. He was not a muscular guy. And I was like, okay. And then, that caused a few things to go on inside of me. I had to pull myself away from it. Yeah, there was some compromise in it. I was like, and I talked to one of my friends about it. I was like, if I am anti a lot of these things, what does that mean for me to put so much of my time and art into the things that I'm not for, that I'm against, morally? Like, how does, what does that say about me if I'm just willing to put effort into these things, which I think are hurting people, and that it caused a whole existential thing. I wasn't supposed to be there, but
yeah, that's a real like I'm not supposed to be here type of thing.
I mean,
So what was the resolution? To the
I think the
situation?
resolution ended up being, and one of the things I also, which I also, holding off on the resolution for a second, one of the things that I also, and I still bring it into question something sometimes, if you're paying an artist, but it's not completely their vision, is it really, you know what I'm saying? Like, why are you approaching them, and
I feel like creative control is like a little bit necessary, at least somewhat. Like, yes, you could realize it with someone else as a collaboration, but at the same time, like the artist has to have some type of free range.
Absolutely. And I mean, and I was trying to question how much of my voice would ultimately be in it. And then later on, that caused me to try to explore the idea of creating a piece of artwork that had none of my voice in it. But that's for later shit. So ultimately, the resolution in the talk with my friend was, it's a job. And regardless of what is being said in the artwork, it is not wholly representative of you, but a collaboration. It is a representative of maybe how you see that individual, or helping that individual see themselves as this thing, And like I ended up doing it and not getting paid for it. When money was asked for it, there was all sorts of excuses. I gotta, I work this job and I don't get paid that much, and I got child support, and I gotta, but.
So you're telling me he's swimming in cash with naked chicks?
Yes.
And he can't pay you?
Yes.
But
he was Scrooge McDuckin, and I was like, hey, can I just get a coin? He was like,
Scrooge.
I don't have anything.
But this is an interesting thing. It's it speaks to the I guess the projected vision that he wants of himself,
Oh my gosh.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
which is kind of crazy, like from my perspective. But at the same time, it's still valid. Like,
What did his music sound like?
It was.
was it good though?
Did it hit though?
Did it hit?
I mean, good is subjective.
Oh
That's
no!
what
When
that's
you
what
say good,
Who would-
see, you never
That-
put on you never put on the album and be like this album. You'd be like, nah, this is fire. No, this mid.
So yeah, when you try to explain shit. So when I wrote this, I was thinking, when you have to have the disclaimer, it's like,
Yeah,
it's not
no,
really that great.
it's not even that
But I mean,
great. But I understand.
He was competent. He
Yeah.
knew what he was doing. No disrespect to the
Who
artist. I hope-
who would he sound like if you had to?
No,
compare him?
we
I
can't.
don't
I don't even think.
remember.
I don't think that's wise to do.
Uh,
We don't want enemies of the cast.
Yeah, we don't. But if you want me to say his name, I'll say his name.
Oh, please.
His name.
He did not say the name. He did, listeners,
I didn't
he
either.
did not say the name,
You
and
can't,
I'm a
you
little
can't
sick.
say who he sounded like.
Yeah.
If you had to compare,
He
to-
sounded like Bleep.
He sounded like
Bleep, 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 bleep,
he
bleep.
sounded like generic Texas rapper.
Oh,
Okay.
If
Texas rappers are fire.
yes,
Who do you
some
like,
are,
Mr. New
But
York?
I grew up in Texas.
Bash World is on point.
Bash World. I've never heard.
Bash
of
World. Shout out Bash World.
Either have I.
Shout out Bash World.
He has a
Shout
song
out
called
Bash
Mo
World.
Texas. It
Mo,
is.
Texas. Where's it? What part of Texas is he from?
That I don't even know. I don't know.
Okay,
That.
Bash World. I
Dude,
gotta
you know
look
what
that
I've
up. I'm
realized?
gonna
Side
put it
note: everybody who's not from Texas, it's just like Texas. Like, there's no like Austin, there's no Dallas. It's
Yeah,
like
it's
you're
same-
from just
the
like
same
it's
thing with
all
the
te-
city. It's like
the
I'm from
big-
the Bronx. Wait,
Yeah, we all get lumped into.
yeah, we're
Yeah.
just like, oh yeah, the only island that exists in New York is Manhattan. Every other
Right.
every other island is not real.
Staten
or-
Island.
Yo,
What
people
is
say,
that?
people say New Jersey isn't real here.
No, you know what's crazy? New Jersey actually owns the Statue of Liberty. It's not even New York.
Really?
Yeah,
Wasn't that? I was actually reading about that.
it's like a
this
court
morning.
case or something, and they
What?
ruled it for New Jersey for the jurisdiction. So
Why?
Jersey needs to feel important.
We'll let him have it.
First, let them have it.
You know,
Is
Plus
it
the-
actually,
plus that's
Bash
French.
for the world.
Oh yeah, Bash for the world. Bash for the world. My fault.
Bash for the world.
I apologize for his name being messed up, but that his song Mo Texas is one of the firest songs I've heard in a minute.
A little
most
bit Mo
fiery.
Texas. Everybody needs a little Mo Texas.
He says some line. Let me pull it up.
Bash for the world.
Bash
Let me-
for the world.
This line is worth the
It's worth-
commotion and
worth the
the
wait.
pause and the flow of the conversation. Let me see. You guys can keep on talking. I'll pull it up when I find it.
But now to finish off, yeah, it was that kind of had me jaded, and I was like, and it really revealed my relationship to my art. It was like that was something that was just so personal to me
Mm.
that I didn't want to sell it.
So how would you approach a similar situation moving forward?
Yeah.
I mean, how I the reconcile was photography is me taking pictures of other people, so that I
Yeah.
can definitely sell. If somebody wanted, say, like a drawing, it would have to be somebody close to me. Like, hence, my best
Yeah.
friend, like one of his album covers
Mhm.
is a drawing that I did of him in a club.
Really?
Which was really random. Like, I was sitting in a club and I was bored. I saw him, and I drew it, and he was like, "Yo, that's dope. I want to use that." I was like, "All right, bet." Like, that's the next
Yours.
album cover. Anytime he needs an album cover, he hits me up, and I was like, "All right, we in album mode. Let's go." But yeah, the result of that is I'm not gonna give that part of me out. And to quote Yazin
But that's
Bey,
fair.
every part of you can't be for sale, and that's the part of me that
Wow,
probably
that's very deep. I
isn't
feel like
for
that's a
sale.
good.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, what's up with the line? Let's hear it.
Yeah.
You got Christian. right
Yeah,
there.
you got it tells you.
He hit us with the yo, the rapper.
Yeah.
Yo.
Don't ever play with my name, 'cause that's my name. This ain't just entertainment. You ain't even got a fret. This ain't no threat. You just get met with intimidation. Even King David spilled blood for respect, and I pray that my sins get vindicated. I just pull up to say hello, to do my thing, then skirt off with my sinner's fragrance.
Whoa.
Mo, Texas. Bash for the world.
Bash for the world.
Can we give him a round of applause? That's,
we can give him a round of
Hey,
applause.
that actually reflects on some of the themes that we're talking about in terms of commodification and art.
True.
Bringing it all back around, baby.
You can't play with my name. Even
Don't play with it.
Even King David spilled blood for respect, and I pray that my sins get vindicated.
Woo. Amen.
Woo. It's hot.
Amen.
That's Texas hot. Shout out to you guys for coming from Texas.
Ew.
Yes, triple digit heat on a regular.
If I ever meet him, I'll spill that line. That line hit me profoundly. That was a very deep and very beautiful way to convey something that you feel like that comes from being in rooms where you're like your art is not respected,
Mhm.
Absolutely.
or your name is just like played around with. It's
Right.
just like, or you're kind of like looked down upon in a situation where you have like less. And I feel like that's just a reaffirmation, like, hey,
Mm.
I don't have to be the toughest in the room. Like even though it's like a tough line,
Mhm.
he's not
It's not very.
It's not
tough.
co-
guy.
it's
Like,
not very tough guy. It's very matter of fact.
Yeah, it's
It's
very.
very.
Mm.
It's not.
It's
It's
a
not
good
like
point.
threatening violence. It's not. It's very confrontational. It's just like these are the stakes at hand. It's very matter of fact in saying that, and I appreciate that.
Shout out to Bash for the world.
Shout out to Bash for the world. But yeah, shout out generic Texas rapper too.
Yes, shout out generic Texas rapper.
We need all of them.
I've been trying to figure out what he sounds like. It's been so long.
Wow.
It's probably, oh my God, since like, that probably happened 2006, maybe 2005. So,
I don't know if there were any prominent Texas heads at that time. Maybe like Paul Wall. Mike
Oh yeah, there was
Jones.
definitely Paul Wall. There was definitely prominent Texas rappers. UGK were on the scene.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact,
UGK. What?
that was when
no lover.
I think, especially Houston, had its greatest bump when you were seeing a lot of Texas rappers get shine. Mike Jones.
Who?
Mike Jones.
me.
You got me. Oh man, wow. Because I haven't heard that name. I haven't heard or said that name in a long time. Yeah, you got me. You
True.
got me. Chameleonaire, like you said, Paul Wall.
I didn't even know Chameleonaire came from.
Never
Texas.
Yeah,
swore
he's
in
from
his
Houston,
lyrics,
Texas.
right?
Really?
What's up?
Never swore in his lyrics.
Never.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Nope.
unless you count some N-bombs, but I mean,
Yeah.
other than that, no, I don't think he has ever,
Nice.
or at least not none of the ones I've heard.
I
Yeah.
don't think anybody's really. I mean,
Is-
I guess except for like Post Malone, nobody's really came out of Dallas.
Out of Dallas, there's some. I believe Lecrae is from Dallas.
Oh yeah,
Lecrae?
Lecrae. Yeah, Lecrae's.
Lecrae.
Shout out Lecrae. He has
I
a
think-
song that
Shout
I
out
like.
Lecrae.
If I'm not mistaken, Usher was born in Dallas.
Was he?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, you guys have like the queen of like neo soul over there from Texas.
Who's that?
Well, you have. I think Beyonce comes from Texas, right?
Oh yeah, she's
Yeah,
from
she's from
Houston. Nora
Houston.
Jones.
Yeah, Beyonce
Oh,
comes from
yeah.
Texas,
She-
and
she
you
went
have
to-
and
she
you have
went to
Erykah
UNT.
Badu.
that she did.
Yeah, Erykah Badu too.
Have
Yeah,
Erykah
you're right.
Badu.
Oh my
Yeah.
God! Side fun fact: Trent and Bill. This is a total work moment.
Yeah.
Are alumni of the same school.
Oh wow! Shout
Yeah.
out! Shout out!
Shout out to
I didn't mean to dox him, but shout out the manager.
shout out to the manager.
Bill.
Shout out to manager Bill.
No, you
Yeah.
good. You good. We didn't say the full name.
Yeah.
But yeah,
There's a
you
lot
went-
of managers named Bill
Yeah.
across the world.
Oh, there goes the phone.
No, the phone is down,
Yeah.
people.
Oh.
The phone is
Shout out!
down.
Shout out to our first little stage setup mess up. I don't know what you call
Yeah.
those, like little
blooper.
yeah, blooper reels that make it
That's
to the
fine,
cut.
that's fine.
Yeah.
You know.
As character.
Yeah.
That it does.
And we're gonna bring this episode to a close. It's nice little Lucy, nice little
All right.
freeform
Little
talk.
Lucy.
you
Little
know?
Lucy.
Yeah.
Conversations.
So what are we gonna do now? Thank yous. Thank you to Gravity for bringing that phone down. You know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gotta love it.
Yeah.
Shout out
Thank you.
Shout
You know,
out to Gravity for keeping us humble,
this
yeah.
is a real one here.
for holding us down.
holding us down.
I would like to thank. This is something I've been thinking about recently. A little small moment of gratitude, and something I'm actually genuinely thankful for is that every day, like no matter how like bad or like whatever it could seem, it's like it's really remarkable that every day we're blessed with like new opportunities. Like
Yeah.
every single day. Like you could be like, damn, like bump, like getting beat up by life, but like you wake up the next day and it's like, whew, like even just the sole fact that you have the opportunity of a new day. I mean, it's really something to be thankful for. So shout out to opportunities. That's who I'm
Shout out to
thinking.
opportunities.
shout out to
Oh, yeah, you get a
opportunities.
round of applause.
And that
Yo, you gotta
Yeah.
pause for Will.
Yeah,
That,
because
uh,
that second scream, like it's just like he just reinvigorates your soul with that
You
one.
thought it was
It's
over.
like, you know what? I didn't believe before, but you know,
Yo,
there's
what was he
something in
doing
there.
for the first couple seconds? like I
He
need
was
to-
revving up,
Powering
He was
up,
like,
yeah.
like he
I
was
need a
what-
moment. I need a moment.
It was like Dragon Ball Z, like charging up, like like it's just explode. We have to create lore for Will.
We
yes.
do. Every episode is gonna get a little piece of Will's story that we're gonna
Share more with.
Yeah,
So that's my thank you.
that's
that was
a big-
amazing.
That's a good
Christian?
thank you. I want to do another Will High, but like we can't. So.
We need to put him back in his cage. He let him out too much. He thinks
Yeah,
this is his
right.
home.
He's
and
like
he won't leave.
He's like a man of bar in the video game. Like he needs to charge up. He needs to recharge.
His battery pack gets low very fast.
Shout out to Bash for the World, and shout out to songwriters that put the time and effort to say something important, or even if they choose not to, give us something to dissect anyways.
But speaking of opportunities, big thank you to my best friend who's always done music and always included me in his projects.
Fire.
Yeah. Speaking of, I'm not supposed to be here. We're gonna have him on sometime, and he's got a really great theory about him and I, being here before and reincarnating.
Yes,
we're not supposed to be here.
I want to talk about reincarnation.
I would love
Yes,
to.
we will.
I would
will.
love
I-
to.
I feel like there's a lot to be said.
There's a lot to be said. Yeah, I think that could potentially be a whole EP right there.
Yeah.
Yes. But this little gem right here, this is coming to an end. So thank you guys for listening. You've been a wonderful and energetic, invisible audience.
Thank you.
Shout out to the invisible audience.
Peace.